I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no L's. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
Let's go, baby.
On the ready.
48's the mic. Check. 48's the mic. Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
Let's go.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Chris Wormley able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Getting set back deep, Cyrus Jones. Taking it about the 36. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 41-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. This is the rookie from Oklahoma State, Justice Hill. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well done from a safety to come up there at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle, too.
Yeah, he actually played into his position, didn't he? He's a strong safety. That means being near the line of scrimmage, cleaning up the run game, almost an extra linebacker, and he relishes the opportunities to put a big hit on a runner.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. That's into the hands of Edwards. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Jackson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Come on, set.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
Switch.
On second down, Connor looking for space. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Tackle made there by Chris Wormley.
It's now 3rd and 4.
Hey, Zoo. Ready?
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. You've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker T.J. Watt there on the coverage. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Jackson. Flushed out right. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Rolling to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. Look at the big man rumble. 30, the 20, 10. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, Winfrey?
Yeah, do I ever?
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. That one good for 33 and a first. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
The tackle there by Mark Barron.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and it's third down. From the gun, Jackson. He finds Roberts, complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line.
First down, Baltimore.
Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore in the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. But now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. To throw again on second down. Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Rudolph from his goal line here. He's got the tight end, Vanette. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
On second down now, it's Connor. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And getting our first update now from Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10, rolling to his right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy. I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Rudolph looking to throw. Open man is Switzer, complete. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
You got nothing.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
And the Steelers first down.
Check.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Down. 18 Gators.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
Down.
They'll run on first down. Connor, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Let's go. Tight, tight, watch left. Tight, tight, watch left.
Hey, Charlie.
48.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rudolph. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
91.
Check 48's the mic. Check 48's the mic.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. To Switzer over the middle. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player,
oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it. And it's picked up by the Steelers. The big fella. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55.
I don't think you got it, son.
Jackson now. And an alley to run. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left. He's got it at the 15. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Leo!
Check 4. Check 13. Check 13.
Go.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hey, Alpha! Get it!
From the gun, here's Rudolph. Open man, it's Vanel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. 25, check 25, check 25. Shoot.
On second down, Samuels. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Gets this one to Hill. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now, as they come up on second and a couple. To throw is Jackson. Buying time to his left. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Jackson now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. He'll buy some time right. He'll take a shot for the... And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Jackson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
First down, Baltimore.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Come on out here, come on. Come get some, come on here, come get some. He don't want it. Mark 55, Mark 55. Defense wins championships, baby. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. This is caught. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They run it again with Hill. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there and a first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great... And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Stephon Tuitt picks up his second sack of the afternoon. After the sack on first down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Going again on the ground here with Hill. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll run it with Hill. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. So the turnover forced and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On second down now, it's Connor. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Maybe not exactly with Graham. Good for 6.
50 plants.
A carry here for the big tight end. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal.
No gain on this defense. No gain. Ready?
They'll look to run with Connor. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Vance McDonald, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester. That's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about it.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Check, 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 check.
On first down, Connor, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Down. 30 base. 49. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. Pretty move. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Rudolph now to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one toe.
They've got his man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. Third time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try and run forward with Connor. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, you have to be careful. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Samuels, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Mike, 55. Check 55.
Jackson from the shotgun. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Check 55 to Mike. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Now Jackson on 1st down. Got a man, it's Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Here's Connor on 1st down going nowhere as he's going to be stacked up behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Connor. And an alley to run. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively.
26 Mike, 26 Mike. Yeah, that's up. 26 Mike, 26 Mike.
On second and 15 now, Jackson. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. From the gun, Jackson. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Second year with the Ravens for Hurst. He didn't have the rookie season he was hoping for, just 13 catches. Remember, he's older than the average second-year player. He spent 2 seasons as a pitcher in minor league baseball before hanging up the glove and heading to the gridiron. Now he says he's more determined than ever. Put on 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Says he's on a mission with a lot to prove this year. Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Jackson on first down. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 12 more yards there and another first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Again, Jackson. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his third touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that third timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, a run with Connor. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Go now. 8, read. Double dog. That's the way.
Now Rudolph. He'll get that one complete to Connor. You hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the fourth quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts. Got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Cameron Hayward. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Steelers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile,